Hello and welcome, Exiles, to look at my plans for the league start for Fate of the Vow, which is going to be a Meteor Bear. Specifically, the skill is called Walking Calamity. They showcase it right here. You activate it. It lasts for 10 seconds, shooting 20 small meteors a second and one big meteor per every 20 meteors. They have it on the page if you look over here. So you can see the gem info, Walking Calamity. And to me, this is just really exciting in terms of one, it can give you that feel of, I think, potentially an auto bombery style of gameplay where you do something and it's just this walking destruction you're leaving behind you. And number two is, I think it's interesting in terms of scaling. Like, I think its damage could actually be fairly decent. This skill has, on the small meteors, 150% effectiveness, and they hit a lot. So we'll see how many overlapping hits you get on like a boss. I'd imagine bigger bosses, this skill will just melt because they're larger hitboxes, whereas smaller bosses, it won't be as effective because you're going to get less overlapping hits. And the interesting part about this is it's actually considered an attack. You think big fireball from the sky. Mentally, I saw that and I thought that's a spell. But actually, when you hover over the gem, it says it's considered an attack, which has some interesting implications because the talisman's weapon is considered a two-handed weapon. They showed some of the base damage rolls and some of the low-level talismans, and they look pretty one-to-one comparable to maybe the damage scaling of maces, maybe a slightly lower base damage hit amount with a slightly faster attack rate at average, which means they're going to hit pretty dang hard. And if you have a skill like this, which can potentially hit the boss a bunch of times while you're using your more normal standard slam or slash maul attacks, that could be potentially pretty good damage scaling. That's what I think, at least. For the most part, the biggest reason I want to play it is because it looks cool. Now, why am I thinking of playing this as a Druid, specifically a Shaman, and why do I think this can work? You'll read the skill, and it says, while in bear form, you build glory by gaining rage while at maximum rage. So my thought process is, if we can get some consistent rage generation, then we can use this skill with fairly good uptime. Obviously, we can extend its skill effect, its duration by getting skill effect duration on the tree and stuff like that. But then later on, aside from skill effect duration, it has a cooldown, and then you have to generate the glory. So how do you solve those two things? You can get CDR on the tree, and you get really good rage sustain, which means once you have the ability to generate that glory, it's going to be like that, and you can get it. Now, how do I see myself getting this rage generation? Furious Wellspring. This notable at the top right here says, hey, you can get base 6% of your rage per second. If you click this node, it gets rid of inherent loss of rage. So the thing that constantly is going to fight to degen your rage whenever you're like not attacking or generating rage. So it makes it very easy to get to maximum rage. And then on top of that, it gives you a large amount of scaling for it with this line here. Increases and reductions to mana regeneration rate also apply to rage regeneration. So for example, on your rings, mana regeneration rate, those go all the way up to like 69 or 70 something percent, and you can quality that to 80, 90%. Things like that are going to be big multipliers for this. Easily, I could see getting 20% plus per second in terms of rage gen, which means effectively a skill like this, which requires 20 glory use, it says, should be very easy to generate. You're going to go straight up to max and then generate that and be able to pop the skill, start slamming around. You will have the built-in cooldown, so I think we'll probably want to invest into some CDR. But then once that CDR runs up, we're going to be able to pop it right again. That's my thought process. And on top of that, a bunch of consistent rage gen doesn't hurt for attack-based builds because rage in PoE 2 is a pretty big damage multiplier. We might also look into ways to get good uptime on Berserk and things like that. And that kind of excites me. So mentally, that's where I'm at for the league start. There was a lot of interesting things. They showcased some pretty cool changes to some ascendancies. For example, Pathfinder got some really massive changes, and I might want to make a Pathfinder later on. But this to me looks the coolest. Now, there are some things like I believe this information we have here, I think GG said is subject to change. Obviously, they develop all the way up till the week before. And so we'll play it by ear on what they're going to do. But right now, that seems like a really fun build to play for this patch. So mentally, that's where I am. I just want to let you guys know my rough plans. And big news is I actually got taken on for Mobalytics. So instead of doing a Maxwell guide, this league will be doing a Mobalytics guide. And I'll link to this in the description of all my videos I make on this character. And I'm going to be updating this pretty much every day of the league, as well as we get more information before the league, I'll update things to this as well. Like, we don't have the ability to link, for example, Walking Calamity skill. We don't have a lot of the back end stuff to have that for the guide yet, but when we do, I will be adding this to that, as well as I'll be making a path of building and having a that be regularly imported to and updated. So that is where we're going to be doing the guide for the character, the rough plan, and I'll keep you guys posted on it. That's just what I'm excited about for Fate of the Val in terms of making a build. There are some other things I'll probably post some videos on. I'm probably going to be doing some preparation stuff elsewhere, but just wanted to make a short video on the rough thought I had in terms of a game plan for the build I want to play for it. This skill just looks really, really fun. I'm just picturing myself having regular uptime on casting or attacking Walking Calamity and just having those meteors trail behind me as I'm rampaging around as a bear. Just a pretty cool, I don't know what to call it exactly, a thematic build or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys have some fun plans for what you're going to league start on the upcoming patch. And as always, take care. Thanks for watching, Exiles. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.